Big surf and rain. The weather changes coming as spring approaches.
Dashing for food. The plan to make PCH safer near a popular Malibu restaurant.
And he survived the Woolsey fire only to be taken by another deadly force. News at 5 starts now.
Weather and sports. Live from Malibu, this is NewsWaves 32.
From high waves to heavy fog, with spring a day away, brace for a new round of weather changes. Good evening, I'm Emily Tencer.
And I'm Josie Lionetti. Welcome to this Tuesday night edition of NewsWaves. A storm is coming tonight and bringing dangerous rip currents to Malibu. NewsWaves 32 reporter Araceli Crescencio joins us live with details on the high surf advisory.
A surf effect will be underway tomorrow, the first day of spring, until Friday. West-facing beaches are going to be primarily affected. This is in San Diego and Orange County. But Malibu beaches will also see high tides, especially tomorrow morning. Surf waves will be up to 4 to 8 feet, and these will be pounding the shores very strongly. A high surf advisory means dangerous surf conditions. You need to take precaution. Rip currents are going to be strong enough to push swimmers and surfers out to sea. If you are going to hit the beach Wednesday through Friday, here are some ways to stay safe. Try swimming in the direction of the shoreline, not against it. If you can, try to swim by a lifeguard, because these rip currents are dangerous enough to cause injury if the waves are big enough. So precaution is advised. And in addition to the big waves, just when you thought you'd seen the end of the rain, more is on the way. I'm sending it back to Hannah in the NewsWaves studio with details on the storm system headed our way. Hannah?
Thank you, Araceli. The sunshine and warm weather we enjoyed this weekend has quickly come and gone. Instead, Malibu is rather gloomy with dense fog, cooler temperatures, and more rain. The rain is expected to begin tonight and last until Thursday evening. As this slow-moving storm system hits, the National Weather Service says thunderstorms are possible, but the rain will be light. Compared to some of the other storms we experienced this winter, this one is looking a lot less intense. We are only expecting 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain total. I'll have more on the cooler temperatures and wet weather in my full report in about 5 minutes. For now, back to you, Josie, at the desk.
Thank you, Hannah. Police are investigating a suspicious deadly car crash in the Point Mugu area. Detectives say a man was seen driving a vehicle at a high speed with the lights out yesterday morning. The vehicle slammed into a rock. When police arrived, they found the driver, a man in his 20s, dead. Investigators believe the crash was intentional.
The city of Malibu is not happy with Nobu's parking situation.
The congestion's horrible, the traffic is horrible. The staff is still parking on both sides of the street as in front of Zuma J's and other businesses, and it just needs to be handled.
Nobu neighbors visited the Malibu Planning Commission last night to complain. Residents are upset about jaywalking employees, too many cars, PCH congestion, and violations of the coastal plan. The commission gave Nobu until May 20th to come up with a legal parking plan that avoids offsite parking.
Caltrans is taking up PCH pedestrian problems near another popular Malibu hotspot. NewsWaves 32 reporter BRIANNA WILLIS joins us live from Carbon Beach with the debate over a possible new traffic light. BRIANNA?
Thank you, Josie. Right behind me is where hundreds of people dangerously cross PCH every day. But Caltrans is now taking action to ensure that no one else will have to cross the street illegally.
Look left and look right. It's time to get serious about crossing the street. Caltrans is looking to add a traffic signal on PCH near Malibu Seafood. After conducting a study, Caltrans found that 54 people crossed the street at the proposed location in just 1 hour. This is a popular spot for tourists and Malibu locals to illegally cross for a walk on the beach and a quick bite to eat. Some of the people that cross the street are even employees at Malibu Seafood.
All the time cross the street. Yeah, like 2 times a day. I walk in the street.
But others who take PCH often are more cautious.
I cycle on PCH, it's dangerous. I post calls. I wouldn't recommend trying to cross where there's no light.
Some Malibu natives are worried the signal will cause more traffic. Having installed a pedestrian signal on PCH before, Caltrans ensures that it will not continuously stop traffic.
This signal is a beacon. It's a hawk beacon. It will only be activated when a pedestrian wants to cross the street.
After finishing crossing the street near Malibu Seafood, I spoke to the Los Angeles resident about what it was like.
Well, actually, it was not scary whatsoever. We just waited until the traffic was gone.
Even though it was not scary for Claudine, she still thinks something should be done.
Maybe they should have a small bridge.
Others suggest that an underpass should be created instead of a traffic signal. But the proposed crossing will not only help safety for pedestrians, but motorists as well.
I would recommend something a little more permanent there for crossing.
Caltrans says the push to the crossing signal will increase safety for everyone. They will host a community outreach meeting next Tuesday to discuss the project. Live from Carbon Beach for NewsWaves 32, I'm BRIANNA Willis.
Thanks, Bree. The death of a local bobcat is sparking conversation on how to better protect wildlife. NewsWaves 32 reporter Christian Parham has the details on the plan to provide safe passage for animals in the mountains.
This bobcat survived the WOOLSEY fire, only to be struck and killed last Friday in a car crash in Calabasas. E361, an adult male, was fatally struck by a driver on Las Virgenes Road. Wildlife experts say vehicles are the second leading cause of death for local bobcats. At least 18 mountain lions have been killed by drivers in the area since 2002. Pepperdine student Megan Jaycox said she has encountered wildlife while driving near the canyon.
There was a deer crossing the canyon and it was on one of the curves, so I thought it was really dangerous for both of us.
Plans are in the works to build a wildlife crossing bridge that would allow big cats to move freely across the 101 and 405. But it is unclear when this plan will come to fruition, as wildlife advocates will need to raise $60 million by 2020 for the bridge.
I think that would be very helpful, not only for the animals' sake, but it's a very dangerous spot to have animals crossing.
Park rangers are advising canyon drivers to be careful when driving and keep an eye out for crossing wildlife.
That was Christian Parham reporting the bobcat was tagged in part of a study by the National Park Service. The bobcat's body will undergo an autopsy.
The numbers are out on the financial impact the WOOLSEY fire has had on the city of Malibu. The current estimate for emergency response and repairs to the city facilities is approximately $7.8 million. The estimate for protective measures and debris removal related to the storms this winter is around $1.4 million. Of the total, the city anticipates getting $8.4 million reimbursed. That remaining $850,000 will be included in the city's budget.
Vintage grocers gone, the abrupt closings, and what it means for the Malibu location.
Planning a new playground. The updates proposed for one of Malibu's most popular parks.
Immigrants' rights at risk. Today's Supreme Court decision that is a victory for the Trump administration.
And a story of strength and resilience we can all learn from. How one Pepperdine student is living with an image-altering condition. Families in Malibu are being asked for their input on improving play areas for children. The city is presenting ideas and designs for the replacement of 2 small playground areas at Malibu BLUFFS Park. Recommendations include a fitness station in the current zipline area and a small climbing and agility playground for children ages 2 to 5 in the sandbox area. The community input meeting is on April 2nd at City Hall.
2 down, 1 left. The Vintage Grocers here in Malibu is the only one of the grocery store left in Southern California. Last Friday, the company suddenly closed 2 of its locations in the Promenade in Westlake Village and the Palisades Village in Pacific Palisades. Employees found out about the closure Thursday night. The Malibu Vintage Grocers has been open for 5 years, but the other 2 locations lasted 2 years or less. One of the locations even lasted less than 6 months.
Exactly.
So
really surprised to see those go.
I know, they're great food, very healthy.
Exactly, and a lot of options for groceries, and specifically in the Palisades location, I know like it was a new area for the new Palisades Village, and just to see it go, it's surprising. But there are rumors, I think, that an Erewhon's going to be going into that location.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like replacing it with Erewhon.
Which I think will be a big hit there.
And another popular grocery, healthy. But let's talk about the weather. It was so nice. It was hot. It felt like we were finally getting out of that glue.
We had the beach day. Like
it felt like summer.
Finally here, and now it's just all gloomy again.
People are getting sunburned. It was just a little bit of a taste of
crisp,
what it should have been like.
Now it's back to the old gloomy days. Yeah, so the gloom in Malibu has returned. Temperatures quickly dropped this morning with a dense fog warning. Malibu is preparing for a cold week with cloudy skies and rain. Currently, tides are between 1 and 3 feet, but will be much higher tomorrow, between 4 to 7 feet. A high surf advisory is in effect tomorrow morning until Thursday at 3 p.m. Dangerous currents are expected, so extra caution is advised for swimmers and surfers. Currently, the fire risk is low and will reach a very low risk this evening. Temperatures are cooler than normal and will continue to stay well below normal the rest of the week. Currently, it is a cloudy 59 degrees with wind speeds at a steady 9 miles per hour and humidity at 75%. Looking at our neighboring cities, temperatures are slightly warmer. Calabasas is at partially cloudy at a warm 66 degrees, Thousand Oaks at 65 degrees, Aurora Hills at a similar 65 degrees, and Santa Monica at a cool 61 degrees. Looking at our 4-day forecast, be prepared for cooler temperatures, cloudy skies, and rain. Tomorrow is a high of 62 and a low of 48 with scattered showers throughout the day and possible thunderstorms in the afternoon. There is 30% chance of rain on Thursday with a high of 62 and a low of 49. Friday is mostly cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 53. And Saturday will be a high of 65 and a low of 50 with likely showers in the morning. That's all I have for now. Stay dry the next few days. Let's go to Emily with a special report.
Thanks, Hannah. Pepperdine senior Julia Sneeden has alopecia, an autoimmune disease that caused her to lose all of her body hair last year. Looking back 1 year later, Julia reflects on how that moment changed her life.
I was like 8 or 9 years old. My parents noticed like a small dollar-sized spot on the back of my head, and I had no idea. I was just a little kid. 2017 in October, my friends pointed out another spot that was growing on the side of my head, or not growing, anti-growing. 5 months after I first noticed it, I had probably about 5 or 10% of my hair left.
Pepperdine senior Julia Sneeden says oftentimes people mistake her as someone going through chemotherapy. But Julia is someone with alopecia, an autoimmune disease that results in hair loss.
In the shower, I would pull out like softball-sized clumps of hair. I was scared to shower or brush my hair because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose that much more hair every time I do.
After an unexpectedly dramatic amount of hair loss her junior year, Julia shaved off what she had left.
It was kind of like a Britney Spears moment. I felt kind of crazy. I had probably like enough hair to fit like inside of a straw. I just was like, this is stupid. Why am I waiting for this last little bit to fall out? I'm just gonna like cut it off and, you know, be my own person, let myself choose when that's gonna happen.
Her best friends were quick to be by her side and support someone they admire so much.
She puts her heart and soul into 100% of her relationships and just cares about people so genuinely.
Although Julia is perfectly fine rocking the bald look, she owns 4 wigs, and one of them is even her alter ego.
Roxy's my alter ego with the purple wig. When she comes out, it's another level.
But to Julia, it's less about the hair on her head and more about the fierce brows.
I feel like the microblading has been what has kept me feeling human and somewhat normal.
And she isn't letting this affect her in any way. She is planning to be a nurse practitioner in neonatology. Julia will always remember junior year as a life-changing lesson.
I believe much more in having a beautiful soul than having beautiful hair.
And her friends say nothing has changed except the hair on her head.
Even in the face of a lot of hardship, she always finds a reason to smile and kind of look at the light side of life, which is, I think, a lesson a lot of us could learn.
A lesson in finding the positivity in it all.
I haven't shaved my legs in about a year, so like, perks.
And loving yourself regardless of whatever life throws at you.
And that's the tea.
With NewsWaves 32, I'm Emily Tencer.
Yeah, speaking with Julia, she's so inspiring, and what I love most about her is just her energy and just what her friends were saying. It's just she's so positive and just saying things like, oh, don't have to shave now.
Yeah.
It's just a lesson we all could learn, just having that positive outlook on whatever we encounter
Absolutely.
in life.
She's so strong. And I love what she said, that it wasn't about her hair, but who she is as a human being.
Yes.
And she just has, like you said, a great outlook on life. And excited to see, you know, where she takes her positivity and her strength.
Yeah, and all the wigs that were in that video, she says like some of them like are tailored to her head, like to her head shape, to like cut so they can fit her best. But they're kind of expensive. They're about $5,000 to $6,000 each, but medical insurance.
She obviously feels like she doesn't need them either and has a great attitude about it. So
yeah. Finishing last, the scandal involving the face of the 2020 Olympics.
A win at the buzzer, that incredible shot that has Clipper fans raving.
And celebrating the start of spring Malibu style, the activities you can look forward to in today's Around the Town. The Supreme Court just made it easier to detain immigrants with past criminal records.
NewsWaves 32 reporter Lily Spiritos is here with the details on today's split ruling.
The conservatives win in today's 5-4 Supreme Court decision, giving the president more authority to arrest, detain, and deport criminal immigrants with past criminal records. The Supreme Court held that immigration officials can take non-citizens awaiting deportation into immigration custody for an unlimited time. The ruling eliminates previously mandatory bond hearings. The dissent argued that the decision risks taking away immigrants' constitutional right to due process.
This is interesting because the court was split based off of their ideologies, and the right did win this one. So we are waiting to see what commentary comes after.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure we'll hear Trump tweeting about it soon, and I'm sure he's excited to give his opinion on it.
Yeah, and it's so topical with everything else that's going on regarding immigration and all the other left and right fights about that.
We're definitely seeing a split here.
Definitely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lily.
Thank you.
So now we are joined with Jacob, who has all the updates on everything going on with sports. I know that there's something going on with the Olympics. We have some news about that.
Yeah, with less than 500 days until the Tokyo Olympics gets underway, the head of Japan's Olympic Committee is stepping down. Tsunkazu Takada announced he will leave his position in June amid allegations of corruption to secure the 2022 Olympic bid for Japan. French prosecutors suspect the Tokyo Bid Committee of paying bribes to African Olympic Committee members to win votes. Japanese authorities are denying the existence of the payments and say they will comply with the French authorities' investigation. Anaheim Angels' Mike Trout agrees to the richest contract in professional sports history. Mike Trout will sign a 12-year, $430 million deal. Only in his age 26 season, Trout has won 2 MVP awards and finished second 4 times. Trout was set to be a free agent in 2020, but will now remain with the Angels until the 2030 season. Trout's contract means he will make nearly $100,000 a day and $220,000 per game. The Clippers prevail at the buzzer.
Lou Williams for the win. Bingo! Oh my goodness.
Lou Williams' first career buzzer beater clinches the Clippers' victory over the Brooklyn Nets 119-116. The game was a back-and-forth affair, with the Clippers trailing by 19 in the second quarter and leading by 15 in the fourth quarter. With a minute left, the Clippers led by 10, but the Nets tied the game with 5 seconds to go. The Clippers have won 7 of their last 8 games. Currently, they are the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
That buzzer beater is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't watch basketball that much. I don't know that much about basketball, but I know that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I know that $100,000
a day
is a
even
pretty
more
good
amazing.
contract.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, wow, but 12 years, that's a commitment, but I guess it's worth it for the money.
It's going to take him all the way up to his age 38 season, so we'll see how long and how valuable this contract proves.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Inspiring voters one concert at a time. The pop star getting involved in politics.
And winter is ending and spring is coming. The list of some of the most popular places for spring activities here in Malibu.
Buzz and Woody are back. The new Toy Story trailer that's to infinity and beyond.
Welcome back to NewsWaves. I'm Jenna Ray Gartner. Are you ready for spring? Because I know I am. This weekend, the weather finally decided to get us ready. In today's Around the Town Tuesday, let's take a look at what you can do around the town this season.
Flowers, butterflies, and sunshine. 3 words that signal the end of the cold and the beginning of spring. After devastating fires and constant rains, the hills are green once again and have burst into flowers with a super bloom. On top of that, this super bloom has brought millions of migrating butterflies to Malibu.
I've noticed the butterflies for sure. I see them all over, like even when I'm driving, like they're all over the side of the road. It's really cool. I think it's beautiful, and I know California's out of a drought now, and so the hills are just so green, and it just makes me want to go for a hike.
If you're looking for a place to hike, here are some places to enjoy. Solstice Canyon is a moderate 3-mile loop trail. It follows a stream and provides rock scrambling opportunities. Escondido Falls is a 4-mile trail that is good for all skill levels. The waterfall here is supposed to be especially beautiful after the rain. Finally, Malibu Creek State Park contains over 8,000 acres of plains, forests, mountains, and rivers. The trails in the Malibu area have something for everyone and can be explored all over the park. However, campsites and some trails are still closed in order to recover the environment after the fires. From the mountains to the ocean, Malibu's beaches are busy again. Don't forget to enjoy the water as spring returns and make the most of the warm weather. Reporting for NewsWaves 32, I'm Jenna Ray Gartner.
So I know the warm weather means a lot more people come to Malibu. All the beaches are a lot busier. There's a lot of people on these hikes, but I am still excited for the warm weather either way. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, just got to get through the rain. Thanks,
exactly.
Jenna.
I'm also excited for the warm weather, but even more excited for Toy Story 4. Annabelle, what can you tell us about that?
Yes, Buzz and Woody are returning to the big screen after 9 years with both old and new friends.
I want you to meet Forky. Hi. Hello. Hi. Ah! He's a spork. Yes, yeah, I know.
The trailer features Woody working to protect Bonnie's new homemade toy. Along the way, Woody reunites with love interest Bo Peep, who shows him a new way of life for toys. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are returning as the voices of Woody and Buzz for the 4th installment of the series. The highly anticipated film is out June 21st. YouTube star and actress Lilly Singh is breaking into the male-dominated world of late-night television. NBC announced the Indian-Canadian entertainer will host a new late-night show in September called A Little Late with Lilly Singh. Singh, who has 14 million subscribers on YouTube, will be the only LGBTQ woman hosting a late-night show on one of the big 4 networks. Her half-hour show will start at 1:35 a.m. Ariana Grande is using her platform to encourage her fans to vote and take part in the political process. Grande has partnered with the organization Headcount to help concertgoers register to vote. Together, they have created a campaign titled Thank You Next, Jen. Fans at home can also text Ariana to the number 40649 for more information about voting.
Thank you, Annabelle. That Starbucks reward program just got a bit more rewarding for users. Starting on April 16th, everyone with an account will be eligible to earn rewards regardless of status. Gold members will be able to redeem stars for less pricey buys. Think free shots or a dairy substitute. Super excited about that.
Yeah,
I love Starbucks, so going to be taking advantage. That'll do it for us this evening.
Have a great night. We'll be back on Thursday.